In this edition of INN CEO Talks, I'm joined by Belinda Labatte of Lomiko Metals, and we're talking about the critical metals needed to meet aggressive EV targets, particularly in North America. Belinda, welcome.
Good day. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I'm interested in this conversation that we're about to have because I think that, when we take a look at what the needs are of the EV sector between now and the end of this decade and then beyond, there's going to be an extraordinary demand. So let's just start by giving viewers an overview of Lomiko.
Excellent. Happy to. So Lomiko Metals, we are a explorer and developer of graphite and lithium in Quebec. And we are in southern Quebec with Loutre, a project that we have 100% exploration rights to inside Algonquin territory, so Kitikon-Zibi. And then we have a earn-in on Bourrier, which is a lithium project in northern Quebec. And that one we are doing exploration work on. With the graphite project, really our flagship, and we really are enjoying being in graphite right now. It's very exciting to see more and more people understanding this particular mineral. We have a PEA, which shows that we have a 15-year mine life at 100,000 tons per year of natural flake graphite produced from this project. And we are advancing that project from the PEA phase to the PFS stage of development. And we're a new team that came in to do this work just about a year ago.
So let's talk about the value of graphite and its role in the electric vehicle market. So often people think of lithium, which of course is partly what you are focused on, but it's graphite that is quite a specialty. Tell us exactly what role graphite plays.
Now let's talk about graphite, which has a presence across all of the rechargeable batteries that are out there, and also in energy storage. So it's a fantastic conductor of heat. It is something that you cannot really find a substitute for. You often will see that graphite, natural flake graphite, is blended with synthetic graphite to get up to that 99.9% purity that you need for electric vehicle batteries. And what's really missing is that we're going to have this bottleneck of not enough supply of graphite. So let's just dig into that a little bit deeper, because graphite's been around as a traditional market for many years. You'll see that demand and supply has been about just over 1 million tons per year. Well, very recently, Benchmark reiterated that that's going to change in 2023 as we start to see that market imbalance coming specifically from the growth of the anode. Graphite is 95% of the anode material and 30% in weight of the entire EV battery. And all of that supply is predominantly coming from Africa, not from North America. So players like Lomiko that are developing a project to feed into that supply chain are positioned really well. And I say that because that market imbalance is going to be at a negative 8 million ton per year position by 2040. And so even in this next year, Benchmark was saying just the other day in LA at the conference, growth of 40% per year in graphite. And we are going to be seeing the anode market really dominating the price environment and the supply for graphite. So that's why the last 10 years have been difficult for graphite players. The next 10 years, totally different, very exciting. And we see a great opportunity for us in southern Quebec.
Well, yeah, Quebec, of course, is a great mining jurisdiction. When you take a look at your projects, what stage are you at now that can lead towards confirmation of mine development?
Yes, what you need to do is to take your project through these different stages to give more and more, economic certainty around what you have in the ground. And our team came in a year ago. The PEA is recent that we have showing great economics at using a very conservative $900 per ton price. Now prices are moving over $1,000 and even higher at $1,500 per ton. with a grade or a flake distribution across all the flake sizes. What we see is that we're going to see an inversion and see that the fines, what's going into the anode material, is going to become even more valuable. So what we need to do is we need to show our investors, we need to show the automakers that we have a project that is economic. So what we did this summer, we completed a 13,000 meter drill program. The assay results have been coming out periodically over this fall, showing really strong intercepts, so 50 meters, 100 meters of intercepts with double-digit graphite or carbon grade. So 10%, 15%, they're all on our website, relative to a resource that was about 4% in terms of the NI 43-101 report that we have currently out. So what we need to do is we need to show that we have a measured and indicated resource. We need to update that NI 43-101 technical report. And then there are a number of other studies that we are continuing with. The key ones, environmental baseline work, which is completed. And then we move forward from there with environmental registration, as well as the metallurgical works. Absolutely key that we can show that our product can be purified and can become spherical graphite. All of that goes into the PFS, and then we are showing that we can advance this project to become a viable material for an electric vehicle built here in North America, if not in Quebec.
So what's your long-term plan? Are you moving towards looking for some kind of a merger or acquisition from a major, or do you see mine development potentially in the future for the company?
We have taken an approach that looks at a strategic view of the industry. So definitely open to acquisition possibilities. We've already taken steps in that direction, because in the year that we were here, we staked claims in and around Loutre in southern Quebec to do early stage exploration. So Loutre started out by having electromagnetic surveys conducted in 1989. A long time ago. Now we're at the point where we're drilling. So we're repeating that with other claims that are surrounding Loutre so that we can move those forward and feed into a central plant location. But at the same time, there's a huge market that needs to be built in graphite in North America that doesn't exist. We've depended all on supply coming or processed 100% through China. And now as Canadians and North Americans, we have to develop this here. And why? Because the IRA has said that 80% of the material that's going into the battery in the United States has to be from a North American source. So a geopolitical component there, and just the industrial logic. We have a beautiful Grenville graphite belt that needs to be developed further. So we do see a lot of room for corporate development work, and we want to be a part of that and create a new business structure here in North America.
How are you situated for cash? Because we know that it's public that you've got a private placement underway. How's the company looking from a financial perspective?
Yes, as an early stage exploration and development company, you're in the business of using that capital to advance your project, to give shareholders more and more value to the asset base. So that's what we've been doing this year. That drilling was almost 100% completed with Canadian flow-through funding. And then we also raised some money for metallurgical studies, which is to show that we have a product that is amenable for the OEMs and battery manufacturers. So at this point, we do have an announced offering out, and that is to continue to build on the NI 43-101 resource. We need some additional funding for that, as well as more metallurgical works to go into the PFS study. We've also started working with an investor relations group in Europe because we see a lot of interest from European investors and family offices and funds. And all of this is in the press release. That financing is currently underway. It's going well. We're pleased to see existing shareholders interested in their story and management participating as well. And that is open at this moment. So, from a cash position, it's always good to ensure that you have the funding available to keep moving that project forward and creating value for the asset. And as we go through these difficult market conditions, we will be able to show our investors that we are in a really good position as we move into, I think, what is going to be a really exciting year for graphite companies like ours.
For those who are watching and are only just being introduced to Lomiko now, what's your number one message to potential investors?
My number one message would be graphite has been the quiet mineral. Lithium's gotten all the attention, but wait for it. People are going to be talking about graphite and understanding how vital this is to the EV supply chain that we're building. And investing in a company like ours at our stage of development is great because it's early and we're committed and we're showing the results of the technical works that we have the right product to go into the anode market. And that's why we're doing this. That's why we're here. And we're all about looking forward, not looking back. So stick with us.
Well, and also with a focus on graphite, you are looking to satisfy or meet a very, very critical need in the whole electric vehicle equation.
Agreed. It's essential. And we need to be doing this here in North America because there's no operating mines feeding into the anode market. So let's get to work.
Well, it looks like you've got some exciting opportunities ahead of you, and that I'm hoping that we're going to see more news from you in the near future, and that you'll come back and share that with us.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to speak with you today.
And likewise, thank you.